So please tune in next time as I review, I don't know, maybe something from Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe or McFarlane, any of those. Hey, what's up mga tol? This is Tall Fry, and today we'll be taking a look at the Super Action Stuff Bag of Violence. This is an accessory pack, and you might have seen some of these pieces in my shots from other videos. So, here I am reviewing it many months later. I purchased it from the Super Action Stuff website, link in the description below, but I think it's also available on Big Bad Toy Store and other local sellers here in my country. It goes for $24.99, which is around 1,200 pesos, and that's a pretty good price for all that you're getting here. The front part shows all the accessories that the set comes with, along with a fitting bloody background. Then as we go to the back, we see Bag of Violence written in that spooky font with more blood behind it. We also have a nice graphic of a dude holding one of the accessories and a list of all the accessories in this set. So let's get these violent, non-child friendly accessories out of the packaging. So here are the accessories out of the packaging and divided into categories. You have the weapons, the reds, and the swooshes. And we'll be taking a look at them, starting with these four weapons. So let's start with the plainest of them all. This is the metal bat. It just has a silver coating over it, and then a black handle that's pretty smooth, no textured grips or anything. And at the very end there we also have back to silver. Now, as plain as this is, it's pretty much a plain metal bat, and I'm not expecting any sort of design aside from what they gave us here, so I'm pretty alright with it. Next we have the big boy axe, and as you can see here, it has that nice wooden pattern that we see on like trees and stuff. It's not just painted in, it's also sculpted, so you can really feel it when you run your fingers through it. It feels really lifelike actually, like actual wood. I know it's probably still plastic, but the finish it has on it and the coating is very nice. And we can see here we have the red and silver for the axe parts. We have a little paint scuff there on one side, and then it's much cleaner here on the other side. This is Happy the Crowbar. Actually, this might be the plainest one. I'm sorry, aside from the metal bat. It's a little underwhelming because it just has some silver and then a smooth red handle. There's no texture to it or anything. Yeah, this seems a little plasticky. Would have appreciated some sort of wash or wear to make it look more realistic. So yeah, that would be my least favorite of the weapons out of all of them, but it's still pretty fine. And then one of the best ones I have to say is Spiky the Bat. So it's literally a bat with spikes at the end, and as you can see, it has that nice wooden coating that the axe had, but all over this time. And then we have some protrusions coming out at the end right there. And one thing that I appreciate is that it stacks up way better compared to this bat, which came with the Rider Punisher, which is just so plain. It's like not even painted. They legit just molded the plastic into a bat shape. While this, yes, this is much better and probably works better with the Punisher, which I will show right now. So any and all of these weapons can work with your 6-inch or 7-inch figures, as I will show here. Punisher with his newly improved Spiky the Bat. Now, it might be a little loose because it's not custom made for this character, but yeah, you can find those spots where it would be a tighter grip, like at the very end or here as it goes nearer to the spiked part. And for your 7-inch figure, here's my McFarlane Spawn, as I will try to place Spiky into his left hand. The bat might seem a little too small compared to the overall figure, but I think it can still kind of work maybe if you angle your shots right. But I have to say it does fit better with the 6-inch figures. Moving on, these are the blood spatter effects. Spatter? Splatter? Yeah, these are the blood effects, and you can see they come in a variety of shapes and sizes. So starting with the smallest one, it looks sort of like a blood spurting effect out of a gaping wound. The piece comes with some excess plastic, but I can cut that off with an X-Acto knife. And here at the bottom side, you can see it's kind of indented or concave, and that's so that you can place it on the figure, on whatever body part like the head or the back, and so that it can have a proper grip when looking like it's blood coming out of the figure. Now as we take a look at the other one here, it's also sort of like a blood spurting effect, but with even more blood. It's like a Reminds me of a bouquet of flowers or some seaweed-ish. It's just some blood, a lot of blood coming out from a single source, like one well-placed headshot. I think this is also considered a blood splattering effect, but not as small. It's much larger, and I think you can use it for those chopping shots. And one thing to note also is that all these pieces, they're made of a translucent red plastic so that when light shines through them, it actually looks like it's a flowing liquid and not just one singular solid piece, which is very beautiful. Next here we have the shorter of the blood trailing effects, and it's basically, yeah, it's a trail of blood that you can use when somebody just gets kicked in the face. And we also have a longer, thicker version right here. And you can use it for the same exact purposes. They do come with indentations of their own, sort of slots, rectangular slots on them, and you can use that to make it look like the bladed weapon just slashed somebody in their arm, their throat, their face, whatever. The next of these pieces is this one, and to be honest, this is the one that confused me the most since I had no idea like in what scenario or what kind of picture would I use it. But I've come to realize that it's probably something that's like a blood trail for somebody lying down on the floor when they're dead. At least that's how I see it. Maybe you could think of other uses. For this one, this is probably pretty straightforward. It's a blood splatting effect. Probably one of the most versatile blood splatter effects aside from the smaller ones. And last but not least, we have this one, which also quite confused me. I think it's for when somebody gets chopped, and then these are like these sharp striation like areas are for realistic blood spatter effects. And here are the red laser effects. So if we take a closer look here, you can see it's just pretty much a straight line of red, a beam if you will. And then here's the impact point. It's pretty jagged actually, so be careful not to pierce yourself. And also one nifty thing about it is that you can change the angle at which the beam comes from. Now, based on the pictures on the Super Action Stuff website, you should be able to detach these two pieces, the beam and the impact point, but every time I've tried it was always stuck, and it's pretty sharp, so I can't really dig my fingers into that. But even if I use some cloth to cover it up, it's still really like stuck in there. So I will just have to let you guys do that for your own accessories, because I don't want to break mine in any sort of way. And the same thing for this smaller laser effect, almost the exact same, though it's harder to balance for sure. They both come in that translucent red, just like the blood effects. Very nice crimson. Could go well with your Cyclops or Superman figures. And to show how to attach some of these red accessories, I have here again Snake Eyes posed with his sword. So first I'm going to use this blood trailing effect. And you just need to find the right angle in which it would fit properly, friction fit, though also make sure that it won't fall. It attaches pretty well if you got the angle down right. And it can look like you just slashed somebody like Bullseye over here, who's going to be our target practice for the rest of this episode. So sorry, Bullseye. So for any accessories that need to be attached with certain adhesives, I have two options. One is the wax that was provided by the Super Action Stuff people themselves. So thank you for sending this my way. It's free essentially, so thank you. But the second option, which is the one that I prefer more, which is some blue tack or sticky tack. Hey yo, what the fuck? And the reason I consider this to be the better option is because one, it's reusable, meaning I can just take it off the part I stuck it on and use it again for the same purpose. And two, because it's less messy than the wax, it doesn't leave a lot of trails and possible stains. So I will be using this for this demonstration, even though
it's dirty as frick.
Just get a little bit. It doesn't have to be a whole lot since it's strong enough. I will just put some on the surface in which I'd like it to adhere to. Now, one thing I noticed is that the smaller the area on which you put the adhesive, the easier it is for it to detach. It sounds pretty obvious, but it's important to keep it in mind for when you have the super small accessories like the blood spurting effects. It's important also to angle your shots so that the sticky tack won't be seen. Otherwise, just use less of it. For the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to leave it at that. Even though it can be seen, you can lessen as you'd like. Then for one of the smaller pieces, I'm going to take another small tiny pinch and then add it to the super small flat side of this blood spurting effect. Remove any excess so that it wouldn't be too apparent in your pictures. Obviously it won't work all the time, so if that happens, just add more. Way more. Yes. Then I can add this last piece right beside the blood spurting effect, so it looks like the bullet or the shot went out the back of his head. And there we go. That doesn't look half bad if I do say so myself. Of course, you can mix and match with these accessories as you please. Get as creative as you want to be. And last but not least, we have these pieces. And these are actually swiping and punching effects respectively, though this can also be used for a kicking effect. As you can see, it's made of that beautiful clear plastic. And it's not just one smooth piece. It also has some dents in them to make it look like realistic, like air's whooshing past it. And then this side is actually frosted to make it seem like if there were an impact point between the fist and somebody's face. Almost the same thing happens here, except there's no frosted side. It's just clear, but also has those dents and line work that work very well in creating the desired effect. This could be used with your Black Panthers and your Wolverines, while this could be used with your Captain Americas and Spider-Man. Okay, this was actually a surprise to me. The fit of the accessory is actually quite snug with the Daredevil figure. For some size comparisons, here are the weapons with your standard 6-inch or 1/12 scale figures. We have the Marvel Legend Rider's Punisher, the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes, the SHF Taskmaster, and the Black Series Kylo Ren. Here they are with the Hasbro Overwatch Genji, the Mafex Chapter 2 John Wick, and for your 7-inch scale figure, the McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with me being an accessory type of guy, do I love this set? Pardon my language, but heck yes. I honestly would have been fine with just the blood and swoosh effects since those are severely lacking in my display, but the fact that they gave us weapons too is just the blood-soaked cherry on top. The only gripe I have is that the crowbar could have been painted better, but that's it. The rest of my frustrations were just me trying to balance the effect pieces, or to constantly add and remove sticky tack. But that's just because I am new to this, and with how much more awesome your picks can look with these things, I'll be using these for a long, long time. For accessory geeks or just people trying to level up their toy photography, this is a definite W. But hang on, all of these effects are mainly for up-close melee action. What about some for guns? Well, don't you worry, mga tol, because next time we'll be checking out the Super Action Stuff Firepower set. So what do you think of this set? Do comment down below and like and subscribe while you're at it. Share this with your friends and be good people, I guess. Of course, when it doesn't work on camera, but off camera, yeah, it was pretty fast. Wow, that's a tight grip. That's a tight grip. Or a gunshot hole. What? Or a